chapter 6. I'm going to read 6 verses, and we're just going to talk about it. Mark chapter 6, verse 1. It's not going to be on the screens, but it says this. It says, Jesus, he left that part of the country, and he returned with his disciples to Nazareth, his hometown. The next Sabbath, he began teaching in the synagogue. Many who heard him, they were amazed. So Jesus goes home, he's teaching, everyone's like, wow, this is amazing. Then they start asking each other, they're looking at like tonight you guys are doing this already because we're so organized and I'm on it. You're like, this is amazing, he's so wise. Sorry, that's my joke. They're talking about his miracles. Verse 3, he says, but he's just a carpenter. This is where it turns. So they're listening, they're amazed, and all of a sudden they start going, I don't know about Jesus. It says, he's just a carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James and Joseph and Judas and Simon. His sisters live right here among us. And then it says they were deeply offended and refused to believe in him. And then Jesus responds. So he sees this whole thing. He says, a prophet is honored everywhere except in his own hometown, among his own relatives, and among his own family. And because of their unbelief, he could not do any miracles among them, except he placed his hands on a few sick people and he healed them. And Jesus was amazed at their unbelief. I don't know about you, but if I want to, if Jesus was amazed by something that I did, I hope it's not my unbelief. Right. I don't know. That would be the last thing I want to be remembered by or talked about by Jesus. You're amazing at unbelief. But this is them. And so what I want to do is use this passage, use this story as kind of a backdrop for really what you see honor can do and what dishonor does in people and among us, and what would happen if we created a church of honor. What would that look like? A couple weeks ago we talked about one of our core values is just being servanthood. What would it look like if we actually served people and washed feet? As the Bible talks about Jesus washing his disciples' feet, we talk about servanthood. In this one, we're going to talk about honor. So again, Jesus is teaching. Everyone's amazed. And it starts off really good. It starts off great. Jesus teaching. Everyone's like, I love this guy. He's amazing. Then I don't know what happened that they immediately just start to question. They're like, I don't know about this Jesus guy. I mean, we know where he came from. He's not that good of a preacher. I know he's doing miracles, but I'm sure there's some gimmick to that. They just start questioning what was obviously divine and impressive. For whatever reason, I think there's a few, we see some in this passage, but some things that, I'm going to point out. They just don't like who God chose to use, and they start to stumble. They start to get offended. And what's wild is, it says that Jesus could not do any miracles among them. I read that and I'm like, wait a second. If he could not do, and he lays his hands on a few sick people, heals some people. What that means is there were people who needed a touch from God in that moment, whether healing in their body, wisdom, instruction. They needed something from God. God was right there willing to give it to them, and their unbelief, their offense, their dishonor cut them off from receiving what God wanted to do. And I think sometimes it's easy to get mad at God for what we don't get, but in this story, at least in this story, not all the time, God was willing and they just were offended. They didn't like how God was trying to help them and who he wanted to help them through. They were mad at it. They're like, nah, we know this guy. You ever felt like that? For whatever reason, someone looked at you and they're just kind of like, yeah. All the parents in here, when someone else tells your kids that and they listen to them and you're like, what am I? I birthed you. I didn't, but she did, I encouraged, played a part in it. But nonetheless, it's just for whatever reason, I think it's easy for us to discount who God uses and stumble over who God's using and get jealous of who God's using and not receive from God because who he's trying to minister to us through. And again, crazy, this is Jesus. And they're like, I don't like him. I know his mama. Like, What? You probably know the story of his mama who gave birth having been a virgin. You probably also know the story about how she raised a son who is sinless. Imagine you hung out with Jesus, like Jesus in the neighborhood. He's like, oh, there's a sinless kid. Always doing what's right, obeying his parents. Like, very into the Bible, that guy. I mean, they should, even though they grew up around him, they should have been impressed by him, but yet they discounted him. Like, knowing him should have been more evidence to his divinity, not less. But they were offended. They were probably jealous. They just didn't like who God used. And again, Jesus starts teaching on this, and he goes, a prophet is honored everywhere except in his own hometown and among his own relatives. And again, Jesus looks at what they did as a lack of honor, therefore we could just call it dishonor. Like the group dishonored him, and therefore they cut off their ability to receive from him. Here's a question. Whether people or places, is it possible that we dishonor people and places and cut off our ability to receive from them? Meaning, when we start to criticize worship more than worship, we've dishonored worship.
That's right.
When we're in a one-year Bible reading plan and you're like, gosh dang, Leviticus, can't get nothing out of this. Like, what is the point in this? Yeah, it's dead. I mean, there's some truth to, like, that's hard. You got to work at it to, like, to apply to us. But when we dishonor God's word, how are we surprised that we don't receive from it? Like, I think sometimes, again, this isn't all the time, this isn't, every situation and blah, blah, blah. But there's times that God wants to speak to us, wants to encourage us, wants to do something, and we dishonor the person, the place, the environment where he could minister to us, and we just cut it off with our dishonor. So I want to define honor, because again, big deal here. They dishonor Jesus, they don't receive from Jesus. Big deal. And so honor has this immense value to it, and dishonor has an immense cost to it. And I want to be a place that we honor, first God, two, we honor each other. And so I want to define honor, define dishonor. Honor is this. If you look it up in the word honor, in the Old Testament, it carries it's actually the same word as glory, as like God's presence. It's like weighty. In the New Testament, it would be like to put a value on something, to put a high price on something, to calculate its cost and say, man, that's expensive. That's something I should honor. When you think of it this way, let's make it practical. When you honor something, you know how like you treat expensive things different than cheap things? Honor. Like, you ever think of it this way, like when you got a new car, or you got a new, let's use this because we did this recently, got a new couch. It's like, don't be getting don't be eating chips in the living room. There's a new couch, son. Or you grew up in a barn? Sorry, that's like the language I've been using with my children lately. And it's like, it's new, it's expensive, it's valuable. We honor it, we treat it different. Well, my grubby couch that we got rid of, it's like, you eat whatever you want. It's like 15 years old. I kind of hate it, it's broken. It sinks when I sit on it. It's not a small dude. There's no honor there because I did not have any value for it. I treated it as common because to me it was common, but we got something new. All of a sudden there's honor to it, there's value to it, and you don't get to sit on that and act the same way as the old couch. Why? I honored it, I valued it. Meaning, sometimes the problem isn't what you're sitting on, the problem is the value you put on it. Sometimes the issue isn't the church you attend, the issue is the value you put on it. Sometimes it's not the preacher and the message, it's the value you put on it. When we treat everything as common and ordinary, we hang back and we criticize it and we cut off our ability to receive from it.
That's good.
So eventually, if you're like, I'm on Pillar's team and he's my pastor. After 6 months, 3 months, a year, 5 years, there'll come this point where you just get sick of listening to me. Like, I'm not interested anymore. Like, my jokes aren't good enough. Like, man, I preached something similar a couple months ago and it just seems like he's repeating himself. Like, something will happen and you'll have the choice to honor or dishonor. You'll have the choice. You have the choice to say, well, man, they sang that song last week. I hate that song. I don't know why they do this song. Like, here he goes again. It's not even a song. Like, I don't even see the words on the screen. Like, can't these people get together? Like, there's no words. How am I supposed to worship without words? Sweet heavens, if that's you. I love you. We got work to do. But we'll do that. We'll have this moment. Am I going to honor or am I going to dishonor? Am I going to value this or am I going to devalue it? Because the moment you dishonor it is the moment you cut off your ability to receive from it. And sometimes there's something wrong with the place, the thing, the person we're receiving from. I'm not saying every pastor's perfect and every church is perfect. And some of those criticisms, in some ways, there's validity to that stuff. I'm not pretending like everything is equal. I am saying, though, let's raise the stakes on our honor, because then it raises the stakes on what we're able to receive.
That's good. Yeah.
If they're opening the Bible and teaching it, and it's not half a movie, we can honor that and receive from it. If the Bible's being preached, we can learn. If it's John 3:16, we can learn. If it's, let's just going over the gospel again. The whole point of everything, you're bored with that?
Right.
What? This is so basic. Yeah, apply the basic and maybe we'll, let's grow. Come on. Just read. I get regularly convicted by the Bible just because I need to grow. Just about any passage I read, I'm like, Lord, help a brother. It's I need to grow. I need to change. I need to get better. Applying the basics of Christianity is a lifelong pursuit.
That's right. That's right.
It's just a lifelong pursuit. So to honor is to estimate the value. Something is worth it. It's weighty. It's different. It's other. It's important. To dishonor, you say it this way, dishonor is treating what is valuable as something that's cheap. It's treating what is special. It's treating something special as if it's ordinary. It's treating something significant as if it's common. Applying it to God, it's treating what's divine as human. And the moment we dishonor, it literally just cuts us off from receiving anything from God. I would imagine these people in this story, it wasn't that Jesus laid his hands on them and then they were see, it didn't work. I bet they didn't even ask. Because dishonor doesn't try to receive, it tries to discredit. I don't imagine it's man, this usually works. I don't know what happened. Guess it's your unbelief. I would imagine they didn't even go up to him. They just sat off to the side and started criticizing, critiquing. This preacher, I know his mom, his dad, his sister, I don't know. I dated his sister once and she had all kinds of stories. Dishonor. And again, I think for us to be a church of honor, we just have to appropriately value Jesus, his word, his church, and other people. See, with them specifically, one of the reasons they started to dishonor Jesus was what they had, it's just the term I would say is familiarity. They just became familiar with him. We know him. He's not special. We know him. So let me say this. The longer you are somewhere and the longer you're in relationship with someone, the more normal dishonor feels. Everyone married in here, if you've been married a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, 4 decades, you know how easy dishonor is. Because how you acted the first month when you were trying to win him over and win her over is not how you're acting today. Why? Because I'm treating her or I'm treating him as common and ordinary, and I'm wondering why this relationship has no spark. We've dishonored the relationship. It's I used to think about her when she wasn't around. I used to plan the date. I used to date her. I used to think of ways to impress her, win her over, think of her. I was intentional and specific because I valued her in a different way. And the longer we're together, the more common and normal dishonor feels. And it's not that there's anything wrong with the relationship. You've not received from it because you've dishonored it. And if you restore honor, you restore the beauty that is that relationship. How many friends do you have? You've been friends for a decade. And it's just, I don't know, like, that's just, you know, it's just my friend. And the beauty that was that friendship is no longer, not because the beauty of that friendship doesn't exist anymore. It's because we've become familiar with what was special. We've dishonored something that was beautiful. And now there's no real benefit to it. And again, I think there's so much value created when we simply honor. Like honor, if we were to think of it this way, this is a weird way to say it, but honoring well is actually, if you were smart, it would be for your benefit and selfish. Because like, I want the most out of this. I want to treat it with the most honor, respect, weight, value, because I want this to be the best it could be, and it'll be the best it could be if I treat it valuable. Like a lot of times we get nothing out of church, not because church was bad, because we don't value it. It's like, I don't get anything out of the Bible. I got 5 minutes to just scroll through. I don't know, well, I did it. We didn't get anything out of it because we didn't value it. Like, is this God's word written to God's people for our benefit? If it is, like, maybe there's some weight to that. Maybe there's some value to that. Maybe if we stop treating it so common, we wouldn't receive it so commonly. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so there's a couple of reasons. I'll just call these ingredients of dishonor. I'll be brief. Because I have notes upon notes of honor, and I don't want to just teach a masterclass on honor all night. But I do want to give you some information to think about, consider, and then we'll discuss as groups. Here's some ingredients to dishonor. Number one, jealousy. It's hard to honor something you're jealous of. Because jealousy loves this comparison thing. This is what they were doing with Jesus. Well, he's this, he's that, he's there. Somehow, dishonor, and the jealousy piece of it specifically, it treats honor as like a scarcity. It's like a scarcity mindset. If I honor you, then I don't. There's not enough honor for me. I think people treat money like this. Well, if so and so's a trillionaire, then there's less money. Like, why do you think that? Like, why does the amount that they have hinder what you have? Why does giving honor produce dishonor for you? Like, why is someone having more hindering you having anything? It's a jealousy thing. Another one is just pride. You ever like been in an environment where someone's getting celebrated and there's just something in you that's like, no. You know, like when your boss's boss gets all these like accolades and you're like, that fool. Like there's just something in us that's just prideful, rises up, is like, no. And then again, another one I talked about is familiarity. See, familiarity doesn't create dishonor. It simply removes the awe that was restraining it. When you're familiar, familiarity is neutral. Like, I'm familiar. I've been married for 16 years. We're familiar. I know you. Familiarity is not necessarily bad, but a lot of times what it leads to, it removes the awe that was needed to have the honor that it deserved. Like, I get to wake up next to her. Like, I get to be in this environment. Like, I get to be a pastor of y'all. And the moment I start to devalue you, I start to dishonor you, then all of a sudden I look at you as a pawn to be used instead of a person that God sent. Because I need you to do that, and like, you should be happy that you're a greeter. And all of a sudden I've dishonored you. And I try to use you instead of help you and equip you to be used by God. So who should we honor? So that's, some ingredients to dishonor. Who should we honor? This is kind of simple. It's like similar to the two commandments: love Jesus, or love God, love people. Who do we honor? We honor God. We honor people. We honor God, honor people. Honoring God, I would say again, is primary. It's most important. It is what we should do. But a couple of ways we honor God. Again, it's in my interactions with Him. Is He valuable? Is He weighty? Is He important? If you and I, think of the most famous person that you geek out over, and whether they're important or just cool or whatever, if you had a meeting with them, would you be late? Would you take a shower before you showed up? How would you act if you had that meeting? Okay, what if we treated God a little more like that? That when I go to pray, when I go to read, when I go to church, when I go to gather, when I'm around people, there's some weight to it. There's some honor restored. That I can't believe that I get to talk to the King of the universe and He listens to my prayers. I can't believe that He loves me, died for me, came for me, left heaven, came to earth, died for my sin in my place, making a way for me to have a relationship with Him. He did that for me, and He cares enough to listen to me, to meet with me, and I pray when I feel like it. And I read when I got nothing better to do, and I show up to church, and I'm there sometimes, unless there's a football game on, And again, I'm using these examples because, again, chief dishonorer, want to get better at it. Let's grow together. Let's be a place that honors the Lord. Again, I used this example earlier, but I'm going to help Quincy out because he's our worship leader. When we criticize worship instead of participate in worship, that says more about us than it says about Him. So the fact that we get anyone to lead us into God's presence and lead worship for us is an honor. It's a privilege. It's thank God for you. Thank God that you're gifted, skilled, and anointed to do that. And I'm glad that I get to be in an environment where you're leading us into God's presence. Thank God for you. Thank God that I can drop off my kids, that it's safe, it's clean, it's fun, they're learning about Jesus. I honor those people. Thank God for those people. We're in this building, and this pastor, this church is letting us use it for free. Honor. Thank God for you. That's why we stay here late and clean the heck out of this place so it looks like we weren't here, so we try to value this church and these people.
That's right.
But what's wild is how common dishonor is in our culture. It's almost cool to criticize. It's almost cool to just riff on people. Dishonor is the air we breathe in our culture. Dishonor, it's this leveling field of no one's more important than me. Everyone else is everyone's the same. It's who are they to think? And I can't believe. And I don't know anything about politics, but until I get on the internet, and then I'm an expert. Just take your pick of the thing. That server, they're late. They don't. We just dishonor so normal in our culture. It is wild. It's wild how common dishonor is. It is literally the culture which we live in. And I would say it's an anti-Christ culture. It's anti-Jesus culture. And if we would create a church and environment and be people of honor, it would be shocking and refreshing to the culture around us. When you interact with people, if your phone's not out, because you're honoring the person you're looking at instead of the screen that you're addicted to, honor. It would be wild. It would be wild to create a church where it's we just put our phones away because we care about people. I know that's a simple, low-hanging fruit analogy. You ever hung out with some teenagers? It's y'all loved your phones together. It's amazing. But we can do it too. So we honor the Lord by putting him first. We honor the Lord by giving him our best, not our leftovers. See, the most important person gets what's most expensive to me and what's most valuable to me, not what's left over from me. So we can look at what you honor by what you give your best to. And again, that is convicting. Like, what gets the most amount of my time? What gets my best energy? What gets my most money? Like, what gets my best? What gets my first? What gets my priority? What gets my preference? What gets that shows what I honor. And I need to grow in my honor of the Lord. I need to grow in my honor of other people. Another thing when it comes to honor, it's just your time, your affection, your words. I mentioned this earlier. In the Old Testament, Proverbs 9, it talks about honor the Lord with your wealth. It's like you honor God financially? Yeah. One of the things we talked about here, if you're on our team, it's like, hey, we give our time, talent, treasure. It's like you serve, use your spiritual gifts. It's like financially support what we're doing. And that could get weird for people. I get it. Like, I'm not, going to look at your bank statement and be like, that's not really a tithe, That'd be a cult. We're not going to do that. But I am saying, Jesus said, where your money is, there your heart will be also. Like, what you care about is seen by how you spend your money.
That's right.
Like it's just true.
That's right.
So my challenge for you, if you're, new to our church, new to giving, I would just say grow in generosity. Yeah. Grow in giving. Grow in honoring the Lord. Wherever you are. In the Old Testament, it was 10%. That's what the word tithe means. Tithe doesn't mean your gift to a church. It means 10% of your income, which would cause you to rearrange your entire life around Jesus and his mission, which is the point. But wherever you're at, grow. Like, I want to continue to honor the Lord in giving. My time, my talent, my treasure. I just want to continue to grow. Okay, so that's honoring the Lord. Honor others. I heard this catchy phrase from some church conference we went to, and I just thought it would be worth repeating. So it's not unique to me, and I didn't come up with it. But when it comes to honoring others, this phrase went, we honor up, we honor down, we honor all around. Honor up, honor down, honor all around. And with that, I just say, like, every person I see, I honor. See, if you only honor up, you're political, you don't honor. You figured out how to, like, climb the scale and, like, work the ladder. You're political. You're not a person of honor. If you only kiss up, you're not political. So in teaching this, I'm not hoping that all of you just like kiss up to me. Like, we honor everyone. Like we just honor everyone. We honor up, we honor down. Like, honor, I would say, is most proven by the person who can do nothing for you. Yeah. Like, there's no angle in serving you, loving you, caring for you, giving to you. I just honor you. Honor. And again, like, it's going to take a lot of people to execute, church services. We're going to have you pick a team. If you don't want to be on a team, you can still come. We'll just look at you crazy. But it's going to take a lot of people. And we need to create a culture that we honor up. We honor those who are leading us. We honor those who are beside us. And we honor those who can do nothing for us. Like the person who is the most important and the person who is the most annoying. Honor.
That's right.
That it just should be like, I value you, I care about you. The person who just can't seem to like end the story and you gotta keep eye contact, and I fussed at you about not pulling your phone out, so you're like locking it and you're like, please make a point. Honor. Because even though that might be annoying to you, you might be the first person to actually listen to them. And the reason they talk so much like that is because they're just begging for someone to give them the time of day. Right. And maybe you'd be the first person to do that for them. Right. I think sometimes the weird things people do, the quirky things people do, is coming from pain and brokenness, and nobody has time to deal with pain and brokenness. And so they just get pushed off to the side, and they're screaming for attention, care, love, and concern because no one will look at them. I had coffee this week, and it was, there was a lot of story to it. And I just refused to pull my phone out. I listened, I engaged, I prayed for them, I was there for them. And then we went again, you know? And I'm like, okay, I'm here for you. If you need this from me, and this is me honoring you, valuing you, caring about you, if this was helpful to you, because again, a whole bunch of their story, heartbreaking. And I just chose to look them in the face and honor them. And through tears, we're just hanging out, and I'm listening. And they didn't come tonight. And I'll meet with them again if they want to. Because people are not a means to an end, they are the end.
That's right. That's good.
Like, if you never come back, take my cell phone number, let me know how I can pray for you. We're good. If you attend every Sunday and are, sending me texts about how you disliked something I said and how it's unbiblical, I'm going to honor the heck out of you anyway. I might correct you, but I'm going to honor you too.
That's right.
Because people matter. The amount of people who love God and try to be a part of a local church, and it is a brutal experience for them, I hate. I hate that it's hard to be in the family of God sometimes. I hate that. How do we fix that? A church that honors. We honor up, we honor down, we honor all around. Someone told us a story last week, because there's a bunch of people here. It was awesome. Something you'll know about me real quick, I really don't care about numbers, I care about people. And so if we talk about numbers, I kind of I'm a data person just because it's helpful to know things. But I could care less if our church is ever thousands of people, in the sense of it would stroke my ego and I could earn some platform so that I could leave you and go do that. That's never what I want to do. I care about people. Okay? And so someone last week came, 194 people, it was amazing. And there was a new guy, he was like, I don't know, we go to this church, we just kind of go in, go out, nobody knows us, nobody talks to us, but I come here, 7 people talk to me. And the wife was super excited about it. The guy was more introverted. He's like, I don't know, they talk to me. He's like, I kind of just wanted to check in, check out. And in a honoring, godly way, it was shocking. It's we were part of this church, and it was large churches have different struggles than small churches, but nonetheless, larger church, no one knows my name, check in, check out, show up late, leave early, did the church thing. It's all of a sudden people know me. I don't know. People saying hi to me and stuff. I don't know. It's weird when you're in a culture that honors people, because it's uncommon. It's just different. You saw me? You saw me? You noticed me? Cared about me? Not so you could recruit me to your team? We need you to do the team thing. But we actually just care about you. And again, I'm kind of rambling a little bit and, whatever. It's team nights. It's less professional. It's my excuse for this being mediocre.
It's not mediocre.
I hope you're catching a little bit of, not really my heart, but really the heart of God, which is people. And what would it look like if we weren't obsessed over the product we call church, but the people in the church? What if it wasn't about the performance and the only, but it was about creating an environment for people to meet Jesus, and it was just different. Because again, God shows up where he's celebrated, not where he's tolerated. And so do people. People come back when they feel seen. People come back when they feel cared about. People know when they're being used. People know when they're a means to an end. People know that. And people know when someone cares about them. So, let's be a church that honors up, that honors down, and a church that honors all around. I'm going to give you another list real quick, and then we'll break up into groups and discuss it. So here's my list. So how do we honor? Let's make it practical. When I'm honoring people, I honor people in my words, my speech. I honor people in my actions. I honor people just as much by what I'm unwilling to do and say as what I am willing to do and say. I honor in my speech, I honor my actions, and I honor in my attitude. Again, you know when you feel like you're an annoyance to someone. You know when you feel like you've interrupted someone, and you know what it feels like when you're the whole point. I mean, just like quick eye contact and put your phone away. And ask questions and listen. I mean, that's kind of simple, but like ask questions, actually listen to the response, and then ask a follow-up question and listen to that response and look them in the eye when you do it. It's rare. It's rare. Another one, when it comes to our actions, so this is, honoring with our actions. We should get really good at the phrase, "That's not my story to tell." It would squash gossip. It would squash slander. "Oh, dude, I heard. I know the details. That's not my story to tell." Like there was a situation with a guy in our church who's no longer around. And it's like, that's not my story to tell. It's like, what happened before? What happened during? Yeah, I mean, you could ask them if they want to tell you that. That's not my story to tell. Like, what if we created a church that didn't gossip? Because again, you ever been on the side of some church gossip? Yeah. It's called a prayer meeting.
Killing me.
It's like, oh, can you pray for so-and-so? Gossip. Like intricate details of their marriage problems and stuff going on with their kids that nobody needs to know except like God. But like all of a sudden, like half the church knows about it. I'm not a violent person, but I think I'd fight you if you did that, Like, just don't do that. Like, we don't gossip. Like, that's not my story to tell. Well, do you know it? Yes. That's not my story to tell. We are not a church that gets in small groups and divulges everyone's issues. We honor. Because again, what I'm describing to you, if I were imagining, you're going like, that's not been my experience. What if it was though? And what if you helped create that? Wouldn't that be refreshing? Wouldn't that be like the church you want to be a part of? The church you want to build? That it's not like people gossiping about you, but it's like when you finally were vulnerable enough to open up about how your marriage is like falling apart, and like you didn't get a text about someone who wasn't there who knows, but you got a text from the person who knows the next day because they're praying for you. That the next time you showed up at church and the next time you showed up at a small group expecting them to be all like awkward and they just loved you, cared for you, and were there for you? What would that be like? That'd be like a church I'd want to be a part of. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a church I want to be. So what would it look like? Closing, finally. What would it look like if we were a church that just chose to honor? What if, I just want to paint a picture. What would it look like? What would it feel like? What if honor was like the air you breathed when you came into something we did as Pillars Church? That you just felt honor. You felt valuable. You felt seen. You felt noticed. You felt cared for. What would it look like? We start meeting on Sunday mornings in September. That the person who just, you could tell they probably haven't been in church in a while or ever, what if we honored them? The person that doesn't look like you, act like you, smell like you, talk like you, live like you, what would it look like if they came around us and felt honored? What if we had a church that didn't have all these like weird cliques that you had to like kind of discover and figure out? Like, oh, that's the cool clique. Like, that's the worship clique. Like, that's the kids team clique. And that's the whatever clique. What if there was no cliques? Because everybody mattered. Like, what if there was no like church politics that like, is like people are talking behind closed doors and behind the scenes and certain leaders, and like, what if there was just none of that and you didn't have to like, man, I think something's up and I think that person's looking at me sideways and I think they know the story, I think they know and like you're trying to navigate all this like weird political nonsense and you're like, I don't know. What if there was none of that? Like, what if it was just like, we love God, we love people, we honor each other, we honor up, we honor down, we honor all around. Like, what if we just did that? And what if it was so normal when someone shows dishonor, one of us looked at them and like, hey, whoa. No, we don't do that here. Not in some weird, like condescending, corrective way, but it's just like a, hey, like, let me help you out. Like, this is important here. Honor's a big deal here. We care about people here. We don't talk like that. We don't act like that. We don't treat people like that. Like, no. Like if you're a leader, and you start scheduling people and like they, decline or don't show up, what if your first response was, hey, are you okay? Is everything all right? Instead of like, why weren't you here? I needed you, man. You ghosted me? Literally, that happened last week. And my response was, is everything okay? And his response back was, no. Told me a story. I'm giving you my best stories. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm, perfect with all this stuff. Like, I'm giving you my positive stories, not my negative ones. I have some negative ones. But what if we honored? What if worship, we honored the Lord? You might have noticed, like, even a couple times we've done worship, it's like, everybody get to your feet, come on, yay! And it's not like this hype, like, gotta get you excited before we worship. Like, we haven't done that yet because we just want to worship. We're not trying to entertain you and get you excited about a song you like. We're trying to get your eyes off of what we're doing and get your eyes on Jesus. Yeah. That's why like tonight, Quincy did it. It's like, hey, let's just worship. Like, let's just focus on the Lord. Now, come on, everybody, clap your hands. Sorry, that was super cheesy. We just honor the Lord around here. Like, it is to him, for him, by him that we live, move, and have our being. Like, it is all about him. It'll always be about him. And when we gather and worship, it is about him, not my favorite song that I like. It's about him. And you can sing a hymn. You can sing something I've never seen. You can screw up the lyrics. And I'm going to worship. Why? Because he matters. And I could hate the sermon if it's the Bible.
That's right.
Come on. So what if that was the church we created? Church that just honored. That we honored God, we honored people, we honored up, we honored down, we honored all around. Thank you for whatever pastor made that catchy phrase, because I keep repeating it and it's helpful. But again, I hope in these team nights, we're starting to just develop some culture stuff that it's like, this is the air we breathe here. This is the environment here. Because it's a kingdom value. It's important. Like, we serve, we honor. This is who we are. This is what we do.